One of the key ways that supermarkets are trying to gain our loyalty is by playing to our consciences. They know that many of us now make a point of trying to shop with sustainability in mind. In fact, the so-called ethical shopping market has risen to nearly £10 billion, twice the size it was a decade ago. As we become more aware of the negative impact that food production can have on the environment, we're putting more pressure on supermarkets to take action. And they know if they respond, they've got a far greater chance of winning our customer. One increasingly worrying environmental issue is caused by an ingredient that's used in a staggering 50% of the packaged products we buy. I've come to Chester to see if anyone knows what it is. Oh, well, you tell me what you think all these products have in common.
They're highly processed.
That may be, but that's not what I was looking for. All right, big fella? E-numbers. I don't think they do. But no. Thank you, sir.
Protein.
Protein? In soap?
I was going to say sugar until I realised there was shampoo and shower gel as well.
See, I know very little about shampoo.
Palm oil. Palm oil. Palm oil?
You are absolutely right.
Really?
You are absolutely right. What have you heard about it?
It threatens the environment.
Why palm oil?
Because it's used as a cheap additive in all range of different products.
It's in everything. It's in cereals, bread, chocolate, pies, pastas, soaps. It's everywhere. Amazed
Wow.
me. See that? This is a picture of a rainforest, obviously, right? This picture shows a direct result of palm oil production. Now you've seen these two pictures side by side, would that make you think differently about buying products with palm oil in them?
If there's other alternatives, why not use those?
Palm oil is a cheap, odourless oil and is one of the most widely used ingredients in global food production. But its plantations are destroying the environment. If you knew there was a supermarket that was removing palm oil from its products, would you go there?
Absolutely, yeah.
One supermarket has realised that removing palm oil may be a way of attracting customers, so they've decided to remove it from all of their own brand products. Frozen food gurus Iceland set themselves the target of removing palm oil from nearly 150 own brand products by the end of 2018. Removing it from so many items in such a short space of time is a real technical challenge. And solving it is the job of Head of Product Development, Neil Nugent. I want to know how it seems to be in everything.
Well, it's kind of dead easy to use. It melts at a high temperature, it's about 52 degrees, so it doesn't need to go in a fridge. It's quite tasteless. It's dead functional.
Neil has a tough task on his hands removing palm oil from all his products. Right now, here in his test kitchen, he's struggling to replace it in one of their biggest selling products, the steak pie. In baking, palm oil does the same job as butter or other fats, helping cook the pastry and creating texture, but at a fraction of the cost.
So one of the great challenges we've had is just a simple pie. It's been driving me mad actually, because it's in two places here. We have a short crust pastry on the base, and the palm oil's in there, and then the hard bit has been this laminated pastry on the top, the puff pastry, and that's where the palm is as well.
So the palm is basically, it's the fat, it's holding the flour together.
Yeah, it's doing a good job.
Neil thinks he's found a solution for the short crust base.
Old school, the short pastry, we've used some lard. Classic, easy to use, and actually quite tasty.
Yeah, lard's fine, not particularly healthy.
Comparable to palm.
Is it?
Yeah.
The base is sorted, but replacing the palm oil in the delicate puff pastry top is a far bigger challenge, as the heavy lard just won't work.
You have layers of fat between layers of pastry, and that gives you that puff.
Yeah, sure.
And that's been the tricky bit to do. This is the palm. You can see the nice layers.
You can clearly see the layers, and that's with the palm, and we know that works perfectly.
Yeah.
All right, so what have you been experimenting with?
We've got butter, which
Yeah.
will be the kind of easy option,
Yeah.
but it's 10 times more expensive than palm.
Butter is 10 times more expensive.
than palm.
Now I'm beginning to understand how palm got so popular. Neil has been struggling with his palm oil pie problem for 18 months. Now he's trying a completely new idea, coconut and sunflower oils, to create a fat that he thinks could be the perfect substitute.
This is the new version though. So you can see there's some lamination there. It's quite flexible, easy to use, and that is the one that I'm hoping is going to work.
So you've used a combination of what looks like a mixture of a sample you take to the doctor and a lemon sorbet.
I suppose it does, yeah. Fortunately, it doesn't taste like that.
I perfectly understand the reasons for you taking the palm oil out. Putting something like sunflower in, does that have any adverse effects on the environment?
Not that I'm aware of, and certainly not in the same way where we're actually destroying rainforests. We have to stop the demand for palm oil, and we're doing it by just simply not using it.
I think you and I are pretty confident that the short crust at the bottom with the lard is going to work.
Yeah.
It's this little fella. How's that going to puff up? After 20 minutes in the oven, it's time to discover if Neil's palm oil replacement has created the perfect puff. I'm going to try the pastry without the filling. That puff pastry is perfect.
I'm happy with that. The tricky bit is now, can we make this in a factory? Can we produce it properly?
Neil has obviously put a lot of work into his palm-free pie and has come up with a pretty tasty piece of puff. But can he turn this trial version into one that can be consistently made in a factory on a mass scale? We'll be back later to find out. Neil's palm oil free pies are almost set to go on the shelves, but will the customers like them? Well, first off, I'd like to know what they taste like. Are they the pies in there now?
These are them, yeah. I've got the old one and the new one, so we can taste one versus the other. I'll show you.
Yeah. That pie time of day, I reckon. Chef, just about. That pie time?
You know, you can see he's baked nicely. What we're looking for is, this is the old one. You know, it's got a little puff on it. Yeah, he's quite nice. New one. Hear that crunch? But you can see the layers. We've got all the layers. It's there. So it's worked.
And this is the old
The
one.
old one, yeah.
And this has got palm oil in it.
Yeah. So you hear that? Slightly, you're getting more of a crunch off it.
Neil, as you know, I taste a lot of food, all right? There's no way anyone's going to notice a difference between one pie and the next. There's no way. It must have made a difference to the price, has it? I mean, there's a reason why the whole world used palm oil. It must have made a difference to the price.
It has made a difference to the price. This is another 50% more than the cost of the fat per kilo. And we're talking about a value pie here. You know, these are sort of 4 pies for £1.59. So, you know, and we're taking on that cost, but that has been the key issue, is how much it costs.
Have you proved that palm oil is unnecessary, completely unnecessary?
I think we have, actually, yeah. You know, we've put it in right across the board, into desserts, into pastries, where palm oil sits. You know, we've removed it, and you know, everyone else can as well.
By the end of 2018, Iceland had managed to remove palm oil from over 100 of their products. But there were some lines where they admitted it just wasn't possible. And they were criticised for trying to cover it up by removing their name rather than palm oil from 17 products.